Hey, what's going on? It's Jack Milocco for Beardbrand. Welcome to the week 51 update on the growing of my beard for an entire year. Today, let's discuss whether or not you should go for the YEARD challenge. The YEARD challenge in its most basic definition is a beard grown out for an entire year without any trimming. But what I found is within the bearded community, there's actually two definitions of the YEARD challenge. On one hand, you have the purist version, which is growing a beard out for an entire year with absolutely no trimming at all. No cheek lines, no necklines, nothing. You put down the razor on day one and that's it. On the other hand though, you have my definition of the YEARD. And within that, you can trim. You can go for the cheek line, you can keep your neckline sharp, and you can get the sides taken down a little bit. But you can't trim it all for length. You gotta let the YEARD go completely natural with the length, okay? So, once you've decided which version of the YEARD you wanna go for, then you have to discuss with yourself whether or not you've got the genetics for this. The genetics play a huge role in what your YEARD's gonna look like. Some guys experience what we call a patchy beard. Some parts are a little bit stronger than others, and some parts just don't come in at all. Others of you guys have the beards that just connect, all right? Those guys are gonna be set. But if you do in fact have a patchy beard, you gotta live with the fact that you've got that for 365 days, okay? That's gonna be pretty rough unless you look in the mirror in the morning and you say, hey, it's all good. Guys, I'm always going to push you to grow whatever you've got. You don't necessarily have to just fall into whatever everyone else tells you to do. If you want to, in fact, go for the YEARD and you do have a patchy beard, go for it. But it's still something to consider before you take on the challenge. The final thing that you should consider before you go for the YEARD challenge is, do you have the patience and do you have the discipline? It seems easy enough to just put down the razor and grow your beard out for an entire year. But let me tell you, in my 23 years of living, the YEARD challenge has been one of the most trying things I've ever done. Because it is not necessarily gonna turn out like you think it is. A lot of guys will go into this thinking they're gonna just explode with hair and get this Viking or lumberjack-esque beard at the end of it. But realistically, that is farther from the truth than you could ever be. Because a beard, when left to its own devices, just goes wild. It will not listen to reason, and it will end up looking a lot more disheveled than you think it will. So you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, hey, do I have the chops to do this? Because it is going to try you, man, and you really need to consider whether or not you're gonna go through these 365 days of looking pretty homely at times, okay? If all of these things sound great and you have the opportunity, I'd say go for the YEARD. I had the chance to do it myself, and it has been one of the strangest and most awesome things I've ever had the opportunity to do. It's gonna teach you things about yourself that you didn't really know. You're gonna grow not only in your facial hair, but as a person. Because what I've found is that it demands care. If you wake up every single day and don't do a thing to your beard, it is just gonna turn awful. It's gonna get super dry, it's gonna get super messy, and it's just gonna be gross. Okay? So you need to do something with it. You need to learn how to brush it. You need to learn how to comb it. You need to try different techniques. Try some oils, try some balms. Do something with it, okay? And in that, you're gonna become a better man. At least in my opinion, because you're teaching yourself a sense of discipline that might not have been there before. Because when you start taking care of your beard, maybe you'll start taking care of your hair. Maybe you'll start taking care of your appearance. And from that, you grow as a person. So here I am, 1 week away from completing my own YEARD journey. And let me tell you from my own experience, it really did make me grow as a person. If you go back and watch the very first episode of this series and you watch this one, I think you'll see the difference. Not only in my appearance, but for me as a man. I've come a long way, and I think a lot of you had too. I know a lot of you have started your own YEARDs, and I wish you luck on your journeys, but as for me, it's finally coming to an end. So with that being said, let's bring it on in. You guys can see the close-up of this YEARD, 51 weeks in. Welcome back. Let's quickly jump into the comment of the week. This one comes from last week's video from Alex Brandon Smith, and he says, dude, you need to trim your beard. Well, Alex, you're in luck, because I'm gonna go one step farther than trimming it. That's right. Next week, it's all going to come off. And I've said this before, but it's official now. Next week, I'll be shaving off my beard. And we're going to do kind of a special episode, so I really do hope you guys tune in because it's going to be pretty fun. So as the YEARD series comes to an end and my challenge is complete, I felt that it was fitting to part ways with the beard. Of course, I'll be growing back a beard pretty soon after, but as for this one, as for this YEARD, it's all over. It's a good symbolic ending for this series and this chapter of my life. So again, I do hope that you guys tune in. Alex, I hope that you personally show up because, hey, the trimming will happen. And thank you as always, guys, for liking, commenting, subscribing. And until I see you next week when the beard comes off, hey, keep on growing.
Thanks for watching this video. Beardbrand has launched a private community called The Alliance. It's for men who are looking to invest in themselves and who are looking to keep on growing. Click the link over there and come join us, or stick around and watch some more awesome videos.